Hola chicas, so we're just going to have a look at para el fin de semana este artículo on página 218. We're just going to have a look at this article on page 218 and 219, 219, okay? So just going to scan through and just pick out some vocabulary, okay? So your title here is Los deportes más populares en España, so the most popular sports in Spain. So I'm just going to pick out some vocabulary. I want you to go through it, try to translate the comprehension, and then do the questions. Uno has to do the questions 1 to 7, okay? But just go more so about the translating, okay? I've picked out some of the tricky terms, so I'm just going to point these out to you, but I want you to translate the rest of it, okay? So let's go read the title here. España es un país que no so destaca. So this here destaca. Okay, so destacar means to stand out. Okay, so destacar means two meanings in Spanish. It can mean to stand out or to underline. But in this sense here, destacar, so it's an AR verb, destacar means to stand out for su diversidad cultural, so it's cultural diversity, y sus bellos paisajes. So it's saying Spain doesn't just stand out for its cultural diversity and its beautiful paisajes, its beautiful countryside or scenery. También destaca, it also stands out for its disciplinas deportivas, for its sporting codes or sporting games, okay? Tan importante es el deporte en nuestro país, so as important as a sport is in our country. Uno de sus atractivos turísticos son sus complejos. One of sus tourist attractions is its numerous or its different sports que destacan por poder acoger eventos del máximo nivel. So which stand out because they can attract events of the highest level. So really, like, the idea here I'm thinking of sporting events that World Cups or international events. I think that's a maximo nivel means events of the highest level, like international events. Okay, like tennis tournaments or anything at all like that. Okay. Then it says, por eso no puedes perderte, so don't get yourself lost, en el top 5 de deportes más populares en España que describimos a continuación. So don't get lost. Perder means to lose. When you make it reflexive, it means to lose yourself in el top 5, in the top 5 de los deportes más populares en España, which we will describe below, okay? So the first one we've got here is ciclismo, okay? Cycling. The first thing we got here is se desprende, or desprende. Now, this here means we're chatting. This desprende is desprender is an er verb here. This means it comes to the conclusion or get the result from, and this here is linked to here encuesta. Okay, encuesta means like a survey. Okay, so from the results of the survey in 2015, it comes to this result here. Okay, and remember whenever you're doing this in Spanish, in English we say 38.7, but in Español it's 38 con. It's with, okay? Con 7%. So 38 con 7 de la población, okay? I just want to underline here as well. Frente means like compared to or in comparison as well, okay? So you got, remember in your frentar, or sorry, frenar is like the verb to break, Freanar, but frente here means like confronted to or compared to otras prácticas deportivas, okay? Other sporting practices, okay? Casi here as well. That casi means almost, okay? It's almost a double. De los que lo practicaban, so remember we got our aba there, so we know that's imperfecto. So it's almost double that was doing the sport hace 5 años, 5 years ago. Fecha de la anti-encuesta, the date of the last, or that was whenever they did the last or the previous survey, okay? Good job. Okay, next one we got here is football. So to underline this first little phrase, se puede decir que. So one can say that. That's really nice for your opinion pieces as well, okay? One can say that se puede decir que es el deporte. So it's the sport con los más aficionados. Aficionados here is your fans, okay? With the most fans in España, okay? Containing or accounting for 74% de adultos, okay? Here it says here, no es el deporte rey. So we know rey means king, deporte is sport. The idea I think I'm saying is here is it's the number one sport in our country. Sino que. And this sino here is like, it's like a negative but the but here is, and despite that, or even though that, sigue aumentando. Aumentando means it still continues to increase. It's increasing. It continues increasing su popularity. So year on year, its popularity is still increasing. Okay, that comes from the verb seguir, to follow or to continue. So it's saying, and yet year on year, its popularity is continuing to increase. Okay, there's an innumerables. It means there's an it's not possible to count all the aficionados of fans that do the sport, pero también son muchos los jugadores que están federados. Federados here means that they've joined the club or they've joined the federation. Okay, so están federados, so they've joined a football club or they've joined a football team that's registered. And then the last one I just want to point out here, emitieron means they're talking about licenses, okay? This means that emitir can mean to broadcast, but in this sense here, we're chatting about they've sent out these licenses, they've been posted out, or they've been, they've been sent out by the federation, okay? Good job. Next one we've got here is we've got paddle, okay? All right. So as you see it here, you have that photo, you have the photo, okay? So here's this ampliando su red. So it's mean wide. Ampliar is to widen. Okay, remember, amplio is wide, estrecho is narrow. Okay, so the verb ampliar means to widen. Okay, it's an ing, so it's widening. Su red, it's network. So red in Espanol can mean two things. Red can mean like the internet, or it can also mean your network. Okay. Okay, and then you've got es decir, that's to say. Okay, unos 58,324 personas, so 50,324 people. Okay. Okay, zapatillas. Okay, zapatillas up the top here. Sorry, okay. Zapatillas, that is your trainers or sports shoes. Okay. And then palateros here means you have different paddles. So para nuestra comodidad, so for your own comfort, we can adquirir, we can get diverso paddles, so you can have different kinds of paddles. Yeah, okay, especially with las pesadas with the different weights, okay. So el juego se practica en parejas o en pairs. Y la final es anotar, so you have to score la mayor cantidad de puntos, the most amount of points. Cantidad, here's the amount. Okay, so anotar, here's to score, cantidad is the points, okay? Okay, perfecto. Okay, you can just translate the rest of it. Bien. Next one we got here then is swimming, la natación. Okay. Okay, so cuenta con means account for, okay? Account for los con más aficionados, okay? Un estudio, un estudio is a study that was carried out la Sociedad Sport Cultura Barcelona. Okay, there's one on here as well. El lema. El lema in Espanol means a slogan. Okay, so it's like a slogan belongs like Nike or Adidas. So el estudio bajo la el lema. So the study under the slogan. Okay. Okay, presidente. Here you got destaca again up the top here. You got destaca means under, makes it stand out. Con el más practicantes seguido de fútbol. Okay, so it has the sport with the most participants followed by football. Okay. Okay, bien. Okay, then the last one we've got here then is baloncesto. Okay, so it's disciplina deportiva. Okay, una canesta, I'm just going to point that out for you there. Una canesta is a basket. Okay, and then colocada means it's colocar means to hang. So colocar is the verb to hang. So it means it's hung or it is hung at a height. Una altura as at a height de 3 metros. Okay, of 3 meters. Donde se debe, you must encajar. Encajar means to throw. Una pelota, a ball. Una pelota is a ball. Para anotar puntos, so anotar to score points. Okay. Okay. So the ball, al contrario, means the opposite. Yeah, debe ser manejado. So you have to use your hand, okay? Con la menor cantidad de tiempo, so with the least amount of time as possible, okay? The last little bit, okay, there's en la cancha, here is in like the court, el cancha de baloncesto, or like en la cancha de tenis. And then there's siete jugadores suplentes, there's 7 extra players. So there's subdividios, there's different kinds of players, okay? Escolta is your guard, okay? Alero is a forward, okay? Alero is a forward in basketball. And then I wasn't sure if these two here are pivot, is a pivot, I think. And then una ala is a wing. So you have una ala and un angel, you have a wing on a bird or on an angel. And ala here means a wing pivot. Now my basketball terminology is terrible, so maybe somebody can explain that better to me. But ala here is a wing, okay? So maybe somebody who's on the wing, okay? So I want you to translate that and do the questions down here at the bottom, okay? And but don't worry about the translations. I want you to just spend the time translating, okay? I've kind of went through it quickly. I've kind of got most of the tricky vocab, I think. Just spend time now, go through it, translate it, and try the questions uno a siete. And I'll see you el lunes.